only ever known. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. I made a promise, can't nobody take it. I chose to put you above all the nations. Out of your graves, I chose to awaken. We made a covenant, don't you forsake it. Come get protected while they going crazy. Israel, my firstborn, my baby. Israel, my firstborn, my baby. I woke you up in your land of captivity. I do not change, I want you to remember me. Laws and commandments, I gave you the remedy. Go read the testimonies for your memory. I sent them prophets, but you wasn't hearing me. I come to you if you really come near to me. I heard your cry, now it's time to take it to me. I know what got you from all of your enemies. Who you know open the sea. Them waters was bitter, but I made it sweet. In case you ain't know how to swim, I'm your protector, so I made you walk on your feet. This a reminder you married to me. I just want you to be all I called you to be. They called you niggas, but I made you priests. I'm about to give you back everything. I'm sending plagues for you. I'm sending boys, drying up rivers. I leave them dead for you. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go. You heard what I said for you. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go. You heard what I said for you. For you, you only ever known. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel, I'm the reason you in captivity. We made a covenant, you ain't remember me. You broke the covenant, I sent your enemies. Get out my lane since you wasn't fearing me. I'm the reason they put you in chains. I'm the reason they switched up your name. I'm the reason why you in the hood. I'm the reason of all your pain. I'm sending flows fast, daily. Think I don't love you, y'all my babies. Gave my son, must be crazy. Come out that system, come out of that lady. They got that military, it would not phase me. It would not move me, it would not graze me. Remember Egypt, I did all that for my people. You only ever known. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. You only ever known. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel.
All the small talk don't faze me. I'm a real Israelite baby. Came from the slums, it was crazy.
Space time.
You ain't getting far cause you lazy. Gotta put in work for the kingdom, baby. Cause I'm most high, and yeah, I'm an Israelite baby. All the small talk don't faze me. I'm a real Israelite baby. Came from the slums, it was crazy. Now I'm in them strips reading daily. You ain't getting far cause you lazy. Gotta put in work for the kingdom, baby. Praise the most high, I'm loving how he made me. And yeah, I'm an Israelite baby. Yeah, I was moving different, had to get my life right. Praise the most high for repentance, not my mind right. Never folding, I keep trying till I get it right. And you know they hate you when you say you get it. I'm not perfect, don't compare me to Christ, yeah. I'm a filthy rag trying to live righteous. Going through the world trying to be a light, yeah. Trials and tribulations, gotta keep fighting. Telling the world all my sins. Praying that someone repent. The past, I can't let it back in. My time coming, gotta keep praying. All the small talk don't faze me. I'm a real Israelite baby. Came from the slums, it was crazy. Now I'm in them strips reading daily. You ain't getting far cause you lazy. Gotta put in work for the kingdom, baby. Praise the most high, I'm loving how he made me. And yeah, I'm an Israelite baby. Moving out. Yeah, that old man had to move him out. No more sleepy, going back a calm now. Living righteous trips with my mom now. I remember it was hard times, yeah. Most high woke me up, renew my mind, yeah.
Shalom. Shalom. I don't need no phone. Con, I hope y'all can see me. I can't see myself. Let me know. Can y'all see me? Even. Shalom. Shalom. Okay, Con. I don't know why it's not popping up. Con. Okay, I'll put this. All right. All right, y'all. Shalom. 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 I hope everybody having a great day. Not that one, sis. Not that one. Not that one. Salakia, y'all. Was a little delayed today, but it's all good. We're gonna continue. Keep it going all through the spirit, all praises. Today I'm gonna just speak a little briefly. Today we're gonna be talking about love is the fruit of the spirit of a series. So we're gonna do a series on the fruit of the spirit. I feel like that's one of them topics where you can just keep going on and on and on and on and on about, right? All right. So soon as my good sis put it on the screen, we will get started. Con, all praises. All right, so again, love is the fruit of the spirit series, all praises. All right, so tonight we're not gonna be talking about love or how the world views the world. Views love, right? Or the way they defined it, right? We're gonna talk about love and that it can be tested, proven, and seen, right? Through the spirit, right? So when you hear the word love, what comes to mind first? Is it feelings? Is it actions? When you hear the word love, what comes to mind first? Me personally, when I hear the word love, what comes to my mind is action. You gotta show me that you love me, right? Because you can just say it all you want. That's that all that saying stuff don't mean nothing. You gotta put that action to it, right? So, all right, can we go to the next slide? The foundational scripture of today is Galatians 5:22 and 23. Galatians 5:22 and 23. And it reads, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law, right? So notice how love is listed first, right? Because everything else grows out of it, right? So if love is missing, the other fruits start to, seem forced, right? Or seem fake or like flesh driven, right? It's not really real genuine, right? Without the love, right? All right, so next slide, please. The water. All right, so what is biblical love, right? So I have the blue letter, right? So love, according to the Bible, right, is G26, right, which is agape, right? That's love, right, which is affection, good with love, like brotherly love, right? And all that other good stuff, right? So that's what love is according to the Bible, right? I'm ready. Slakia. Okay. All right. So the next one is the fruit, right? The fruit of it is G2590, right? Again, G2590, which is carpos, right? Which is in the Greek, right? So, clearly we see that it is different. Salaki, give me 1 second. Salakia, kids. All right. Yeah, so clearly we look at and you see the fruit, right? So it has different definitions in the blue letter for fruit, right? And clearly it's not the first definition, right? Because we got to do process of elimination when trying to determine what that actually means, right? Um so so we clearly see it's not the fruit of the tree, right? So clearly, right? So we're gonna go to the next one, which originates or comes from something, an effect or result, right? Which is the work, act of deed, right? Advantage, profit. Profit, utility, right? Praises, which are presented to God as a thank offering, right? Which is, but in this case, we're just going to look at it as work or act of deed, right? To show your fruits, right? The fruits of the Spirit. So the next one, biblical love, right? Again, which is agape, right? Agape is rooted in obedience, proven by action, not feelings, and sustained by the Spirit, not emotions, right? And the scripture that we have for that is 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. If you can read that, sis, that would be great.
Fine. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 through 7. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, and is not puffed up. Doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, and endureth all things.
The water. All right, the next slide. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is disciplined. And love is consistent, right? So reliable support would align with consistency, right? Within love, right? Having that safe space in your mind to know that you're loved, right? And not just being told that you're loved, right? That goes back to what I said, like, I want you to show me you love me, right? Through your actions, right? And not just through your word, right? And that's the same thing like with the Most High, right? He wants you to show with your actions that you love him, right? And not just through your words. Go back, sis. Salaki. Love is not loud, performative, or dramatic, right? It's not, giving like, oh, um, you know, like what's a one that I always say is like when you giving something to a homeless person and you sitting there recording it, right? That's not love. You just doing it what you need an audience, right? you're gonna do it in in secret, right? And it's actually a scripture about that in Matthew. I should have pulled that. But if you know, right? It's not performative and nor is it dramatic, right? Keep it going for me. Love is just not how you feel, it's how you respond, right? So love is the root of every fruit, like I said before, right? So every fruit exposes whether love is real or it's just being spoken, right? Think of love as the soil, and the other fruits are the visible evidence that love is real, right? That person's love for you is real, or that your love is real, right? So Matthew 7 and 16, Matthew 7 and 16, Matthew 7 and 16. And if you can read that, sis, that would be great. The water.
This is Matthew chapter 7 and verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?
Con, right? All right, so on to the next one. Joy plus love, right? Or love plus joy, right? Because remember, I said love ties in with the rest of the fruit. So we're going to show how it ties in, right? So love and joy, right? Joy is love that trusts the Most High, right? So the precept I have for that is Nehemiah 8 and 10. Nehemiah 8 and 10. Nehemiah 8 and 10. If you can read that, that would be great.
This is Nehemiah chapter 8 and verse 10. Then he said unto them, Go your way, eat the fat and drink the sweet, and send portions unto them for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy unto our Lord, the Most High God. Neither be ye sorry, for the joy of the Most High God is your strength.
Right. The joy of the Most High God is your strength, right? So when you love the Most High, your joy doesn't disappear, right? Especially when them circumstances change, right? Your joy do not disappear, right? Joy says, I know the Most High God is going to see me through this, no matter how hard it may feel or may seem, right? Joy doesn't disappear, right? When life starts to shift or when life starts to get hard, right? Or it doesn't do that, right? When life hurts, it shifts your focus back to the Most High God, not away from Him, right? I remember growing up, I was always told when life knocks you down, you get back up and say you hit like you know the rest. All right, a female dog. I'm gonna just leave it like that, right? And you get back up, right? Them little swings, you better duck and dodge them, right? So you're disappointed, right? But you don't become bitter. You don't want to become bitter, right? That's love choosing trust over complaining, right? Because you could have complained about what you're disappointed about, right? But you go on trust and give it into the Most High God, right? So if joy vanish when things don't go your way, your love might be conditional to the Most High God, right? Basically saying like, you only love the Most High God when things is going your way, right? Or when Most High God is, looking out and doing what you need Him to do. But when He, putting you to that fire, you know, your love is being questioned, or you questioning the Most High and His love for you, right? So the next one is love and peace, right? Peace is love that refuses chaos, right? All right, so the precept for that is Colossians 3 and 15. Colossians 3 and 15. Colossians 3:15. And if you can read that, that would be great, sis.
Con, this is Colossians chapter 3 and verse 15. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful.
Con, right? So love doesn't thrive in consistent conflict, right? And we know the Most High don't work in chaos either. He needs that peace, right? Peace means you don't argue just to feel right, right? You don't argue sometimes just because you are right, right? So what that would look like is stop responding to drama, right? And prioritize winning your peace over winning that fight or over that argument, right? Just like, the good old Fantasia, right? You know what she say? Sometimes you gotta lose to win again, right? Sometimes you gotta lose that fight to win your peace, right? And that's the real prize right there, is your peace, right? It's so easy, for you to start wilding out and spazzing out, right? And a lot of times, those people that's wilding out, spazzing out, they have no peace in their mind, right? But the real prize is the peace, right? So love knows when to speak and when to be silent, right? Wisdom knows when to speak and when to be silent, right? That's real big, right? Because sometimes, with your peace, you gotta be aware of what you're saying out your mouth, right? Or keep your mouth shut sometimes to have that peace, right? Or, again, knowing when to speak, right? Because clearly, if you know that you on edge, it may not be the right time for you to speak. And it might just be time for you to be quiet for a second and maybe revisit it later on, right? When you're, you know, more calm, right? In order to maintain the peace, right? Instead of just spazzing out. Love values peace more than being right. I'm going to say that one more time. Love values peace more than being right, even if you are right. But you're going to still show love by still maintaining peace than chaos, right? Or confusion. All right, the next one, love and long suffering, right? Or patience, right? Patience is love under pressure. I'm going to say it again. Patience is love under pressure. Precept for that is Proverbs 19 and 11. Proverbs 19 and 11. Proverbs 19 and 11. If you read it, that would be great. The water.
This is Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 11. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it back up. And it reads, the discretion of a man differeth his anger, or deferreth, Salaki, his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression.
Right? So patience show love is mature, right? And not reactive. Right? I'm saying that again. Patience show love is mature and not reactive. Impatience expose a lack of self-control. Impatience expose a lack of self-control, right? Just, standing in line for a long time, right? And now you irritated, right? Now you cussing everybody out, want to throw everything on, leaving the cart right there. And trust me, I've done it. I've done it. I left the cart right there, right? Because I don't feel like waiting in that line, right? But then I had to realize I wasn't patient, right? I had to wait my turn, right? Which in all sense, I didn't have that self-control, right? So you can you can correct gently someone who did something to you that you didn't like, right? Instead of just snapping, right? That's showing love and patience with that person, right? Instead of just going off and snapping, right? Just straight spazzing out, right? If you always reacting, love hasn't been rooted yet, right? Because you gotta think before you do. Like I was always told when I was young, think before you speak, right? Sometimes you gotta think before you do. Take a pause, right? And make sure that you're having love and patience with your next person, right? Giving that grace. All right, so now you have love and gentleness. Love and gentleness, right? So gentleness is love in delivery, right? Like the delivery of your speech, right? And I could have put Colossians in there too. So you have Proverbs 15 and 1. Proverbs 15 and 1. Proverbs 15 and 1. And if you could read that, that would be great. The water.
Con. This is Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
Con, right? So you don't have to embarrass somebody to prove a point, right? And we all done it, I'm sure, right? To try to prove a point, because I know when I was in the world, it's like, let me stop. But yeah, so yeah, you don't gotta do that. You don't have to do that, right? Truth without gentleness becomes control, right? Because now you're not talking gentle, right? Now you just saying anything, right? Even if you're telling the truth though, right? But you can still tell the truth with a little gentleness, right? You ain't gotta be all rough rider, right? Or all that, to tell somebody about themselves. Sometimes you can tell them about themselves gently, right? Um, love doesn't bruise, it builds, right? So if it's not helping you build, even if I'm trying to tell you about yourself, right? And I'm not helping you build and I'm bashing you, what is that going to solve, right? Because you're going to look at me like I'm just bashing you instead of what my intentions is, right? Well, in my case, right? What my intention would be is to help build you to become better, right? And not to bash you, right? And that would be love with gentleness, right? By still correcting you or telling you where you're wrong at, but still delivering it with gentleness, right? So the next one is love and goodness. Love and goodness, right? So the precept for that is James 2 and 17. James 2 and 17. James 2 and 17. If you can read it, that would be great.
Con. This is James chapter 2 and verse 17. Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone.
Con, right? So love doesn't just feel, it serves, right? That's where the action come into play, right? Um, and alongs with the goodness part, right? So you showing up even when it's inconvenient, right? You answering that sister call, even if she calling 3 in the morning, right? You showing up when a sister needs you or someone needs you, right? In the most inconvenient times, right? I can count on my hands 1,000,001 times that I've done it, right? Tired and all, body aching and all, pregnant and all, all that and all. Okay? But that's what you do, right? When you show love, right? Love doesn't just say I care, it proves it, right? It moves his feet, right? That's where it does the serve, it does the action to follow with me saying I love you, right? So the next one is love and faith. Love and faith, right? So that faith is love that believes the Most High way work, right? His way work, not yours, not mine, not your mama's, not your daddy's, not your grandmother's, not nobody, right? But the Most High God, His way works, right? So the precept I have for that is Hebrews 11:6. Hebrews 11:6. Hebrews 11:6. If you can read it, that would be great. The water. Con. All right. I will go ahead and read. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seeks him. Right? So if you love him, you trust his instruction over your own emotion, as well as when you don't understand. Right? I'm gonna say that one more time because that's a one, right? If you love him, you trust his instruction over your own emotions as well when you don't understand, right? When you don't know why things are happening, right? Or you don't know where it's going to leave you, right? Or lead you at, right? Where is he guiding you, right? In blind faith, right? But you still trust him. You still going to follow, right? Love obeys because it sees results, right? Love obeys because it sees results, right? So next precept that I have, go with this, is Daniel 3:16-18. Daniel 3:16-18. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't know how to say these names um of these brothers. Okay. So I'm not even gonna attempt because I don't even want disrespect. But y'all see, right? And so am I reading. So and it reads, they answered and said to the king, "Oh, I don't even know how to say that name. I'm not gonna lie to you. We are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fury, fiery furnace, and will deliver us out of thy hands, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy God, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up," right? So because they love the Most High, to not worship the image of, that golden image, right? They had got thrown inside of the fiery furnace, right? The blazing furnace that was really, really hot, right? But they had faith in the Most High that he will save them, right? And rescue them, right? And even when even went to the fuller extent, right? To say, even if he doesn't, right? That's when the faith come in at, right? Even if he doesn't, right? I'm still riding with my God, and I'ma still ride, right? Even if he doesn't come save me, right? Because I'm for sure not serving your God. Okay? So that just showed the love that they had for the Most High God and the faith that they had along with it, right? To show to the Most High God, right? And I thought that was real powerful, y'all. That was real powerful. But yeah, car. So the next one is love and meekness. Love and meekness. Love and meekness. Right? So meekness is love with strength under control. Meekness is love with strength under control. And a precept for that is Matthew 11:29. Matthew 11:29. Matthew 11:29. And it reads, "Take my yoke upon you and lean of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls." Right? So meekness isn't a weakness. And I used to always say, don't take my meekness for weakness. Right? It's a disciplined power. Right? So yeah, I'm being meek, but it ain't weak. Nor am I weak. Right? I'm just having that discipline for that power. Right? That power that I'm now installing into myself to be meek. Right? So love doesn't have to dominate to be strong, right? It doesn't have to be, you know, all high and mighty, right? To be strong, right? Or be all over top of everybody, right? So love and temperance, right? Which is self-control. Proverbs 25:28. Proverbs 25:28. Proverbs 25:28. He that have no rule over his spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Right? So if love lack discipline, it turns into something else. Right? And you want to have that discipline. Right? Love without boundaries become harmful. So think before you speak. Again, right? You don't have to say everything that you feel, right? Sometimes you gotta have a filter on it, right? That goes with the self-control, right? Again, you gotta have a little filter on it, right? You can't say everything how you feel, right? Especially when you first feel it, right? Again, love knows when to stop, right? Or when to pause and revisit to come again, right? Um, So come. And the next one is why love is tested the most, right? Why is love tested the most, right? And a precept that I have for that is John chapter 13 and verse 35. John chapter 13 and verse 35. John chapter 13 and verse 35. And it reads, "By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if you have loved one another." Right? So the enemy doesn't fear talent, he fears love with discipline. Right? He fears that person that have love and that have that discipline, right? Because they expecting you just go off, right? Be that angry black woman that, they want us to be. Ha, na, 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 na. Right? It's like, yeah, I'm a little silly, y'all. But God, right? They want you to be like that. When in all reality, we not going to be like that, right? I surprise people all the time. Right? I be cussing them out in a nice way, right? I still get my point across. And they be like, "Oh, yeah, I can't even say nothing." Yeah, you're right. You can't say nothing, right? Because I ain't disrespect you. Right, I be getting up in Esau bushes, low key. Right? Love under pressure exposes who's really walking in the spirit. Right? The enemy loves to attack because love exposes the darkness as well. Right? It will show if you in the light or if you not. Are you walking in the light or you working in the dark? That's what love will expose. Right? So the greatest evidence of the spirit is love under pressure. Again, are you sliding with your seatbelt off? or you finna jump out and leave me? What we doing? Right? What you doing for the Most High? When stuff start to hit the fan, are you gonna bow down? Right? Or the case of in Daniel, right, with them brothers, right? And they make you, and it comes a time you gotta start worshiping these gods. You gonna worship these gods, or you gonna say nah? And I'll just deal with the consequences, right? And because you still ride and slide with the Most High God, right? What you gonna do? What you doing? Right? So kind of got a little couple reflection questions, and we gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up. So reflection questions. Do my reaction reflect love or control? Right? Do my reaction reflect love or control? I got these little backwards on the slide. But God, right? Or which fruit reveals where my love needs growth? Which fruit reveals where my love needs growth, right? And it don't hurt to, reflect, right, within yourself, right, to know where you need to pick up at, right, where you need to work on. Because we all have something that we have to work on, right? And the last one is my love rooted in the Most High or in my emotions? Am I showing love the way the Most High wants me to show love? Or am I in my emotions? Am I wearing my heart on my sleeve about everything? Right? You don't grow love by trying hard, right? But you grow love by staying connected in the spirit, by staying grounded, staying in the spirit. That's how you show and grow love, right? So if the love is real, then the fruits of the labor will follow behind it, right? The fruits of the labor will follow behind it. Give me 1 second, please. So come. With that, I conclude it and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Shah, the water y'all for watching. Again, if you is interested, you can always join us in the Israel Sisterhood Princess Pillars Bible study. We have a support group, if you watch the beginning of the video, where we just have support and we show support, sisters being sisters. Just need someone to talk to, be there for you. We have sisters all over the state, different states at that. Whatever you need, we here. So Collins, always feel free. We accept donations if you would like to help us with our ministry and everything like that. So all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Mashiach Shah, and I yield. Shalom.